So let me show you what I'm working on. Oh, really? Sorry, man. I didn't mean to interrupt you there. Yeah, I'm trying to get the vibe like, trying to make it so that it's like everybody's hanging out. Like if everybody comes over for a repair party or something. So feel free to solder and hang out for a little bit. I'm probably only going to be on, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes. Depends when the wifey goes, hey, come to bed. But I had a little bit of trouble putting the baby to sleep today, so it was a little late than normal. But I had wanted to work on, this beforehand because I'm not going to be able to Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I have like a lot of plans to do. So yeah, because my only time really is, after like 8 p.m. every night. So anyway, yeah, a friend of mine, he's actually one of my best friends. We do this all the time when we'll just, kind of do like FaceTime, and he'll just set up his either his PC or his phone, and then we'll just freaking hang out and solder and just chat while we're soldering. It's pretty cool. So I wish I could have music or something, but I'm really kind of reluctant to do that because everybody gets flagged nowadays on YouTube. But yeah, so hopefully you'll be able to hear me. I have the fan going right next to the phone in order to get all the fumes away. So I'd have to do a lot of rearranging to kind of figure out how to put it somewhere else. So for now, that's where it's gonna stay. But let me know if you like this view. Let me. You can see my hand here. I'm actually going towards the phone. Oh, okay. So you're getting paid to do that. Even better. Yeah. So what you're seeing here, this is actually you can see all the pieces, and I left this. You could probably saw this from another episode. I actually sliced this by mistake. I think what I did is I did this and it melted it. But I felt I'm going to use this as much as I can. This is just that foam packing material. It's really good for PCBs and stuff, so it doesn't scratch anything. And this is my Arkanoid table. You guys can probably see it here. And I'll actually flip it up for you guys to see it a little bit. You can see like the sticker for Arkanoid, barely. I do. So I have control here. Like I said, it's a experimental setup that I'm messing with. But the thing is, I'm not really sure how it is because I'm running on my Wi-Fi right now, and my Wi-Fi is terrible. I admit it. So I'm looking into capture cards. Eventually, I tried the Elgato. I didn't really like it, so I ended up returning it. I think at the time I had Windows 7, so I had upgraded it to 10 since then, but I had returned it because I wasn't happy with it. But luckily, the 4K model came out after that. So, oh, cool. I'll call you Command from now on instead of saying your whole name there. Command the line. That's cool. You have an arcade collection there. I'm trying to figure out how I can get to. Let me see. Oh, there we go. And awesome. Okay, yeah, it works. It's been pretty crappy lately, like I said. I think what's happening though is the focus on this stupid phone just keeps going in and out. But because this is like a static image here that doesn't change much, I think it'll be fine. So, alright, so let's get going. So I ordered a whole bunch of parts from Mauser. Various, like, I ordered, like, caps. I already put the caps in. But these are, like, I think they're, like, MOSFET amplifier stuff. But anyway, they're transistors. And what's happening on this thing, I got this jukebox years ago. I got it actually donated to me for free from a friend of a friend. And, it just died on them one day. It just stopped working. It lights up and everything. It looks great. The mechanisms all work. Like when I move them around, it's actually a 45 player. It plays 45s. And the whole thing moves when you activate it manually, but the computer itself is dark. Like it's not doing anything. When you put credits in or quarters in, it does nothing. So I found out that this fuse right here, I'll zoom in a little bit so you guys can get to see a little bit. Let's see, I'll try to focus too, because this camera's horrible. Alright, so, where is it? This fuse right here is the one that just kept popping all the time. So I took the whole thing apart. I finally figured how to get this thing out because this thing is a pain to get out of the machine. You have to remove a whole bunch of screws on top and they're all connected. So because this is blowing, I'm being lazy right now. I'm not looking at the schematics because I know it's something really simple. So I know enough from working on monitors that when fuses pop, usually it's because of short or because one of these guys right here is shorted out. So because they're so cheap, I mean, I got extras too. I got doubles of everything. I didn't do the caps, as the caps look fine. I just got these big caps, which are a little expensive, but for everything, it was like under 40 bucks shipped. So I figured, why not just replace everything? So I got all these here. Not sure if they do anything. I'm not sure if I got this one. I have to double check that. But I didn't order, this is a voltage regulator. I did not order that because I'm still doing pricing on it, and the cheapest I found was like $10 shipped from the UK, so it's going to take forever to get here. So I figured I'd leave that out now, get everything else, and then I'll replace that if it still doesn't work. Also, there's one here, I think is it this one? Yeah, BDX53, that's this one here and this one here. I don't have those on hand. They're still on their way. They should arrive either tomorrow or Saturday. But, you know, I figured why not shotgun them, take them out. I've been testing them as I go along, so here's a new one right here. And then the older one is here, and I believe they're PNP resistors, or PNP transistors, I should say. And the way you know is like, you take the negative and the positive, so yeah, I'll zoom in a little bit here. Just bear with me, because this is all new stuff I'm doing now. And I'll stick this out of the way. Put it in front. Yeah, I'll put it so you guys can see it better. There you go. Let's go down. Okay. So these are the same. It says BDX54C on this one over here. And this is the old one. So if I put like the negative in the middle and then put the positive on the side, let's see if we'll do a reading here. And I haven't set the diode right now. Nothing happens on either end. But if I reverse them and put the positive in the center and thing on the side, you'll see a reading pop up, 0.591. See if I can move it better on screen here. So that's how you know the middle is positive and the ends are negative. So this is an NPN, so it's negative, positive, negative. So it's an NPN transistor. And it tests fine. It looks like it's fine. It's not shorted or anything. I did the reverse where I switched them around. Like here. I did that. I did all like combinations, and it's not shorted. If it's shorted, I think it shows this on all of them. So this one I believe is still good. And I also tested it against this one, and they have similar ranges. This one's slightly different. I guess it's a different brand or whatever. But it still shows readings. So that's how I know that this one, you know, this is a new one. So the other one's still good, so I'm going to still keep it as parts. Again, I'm shotgunning it, just trying to figure out what to do. But you have to take them out in order to test them. They won't work otherwise, so. Alright, so let's see if we can get this in here. So I replaced these. The ones that were in there before, looks like this. And these are really beefy. They're 4,700 UF, so 4,700 microfarads, and they were, I believe, 40 volts, but they're pretty huge. So I've heard people have issues with this just by reading on the forums, saying that this fuse keeps popping and it acts a little weird when the computer doesn't work when these things need replacing. So I figured, why not? I'll take them out. These are old anyway. You know, it's one more time. It's called OMT 1015 or 1015. And that is the 45 version. There was the CD version, which is newer, but mine is the older version. So this is probably from like, I would say probably around the 70s, 80s when this thing was made. Because it has basically 45s in there. They're all Motown. So it's kind of cool seeing all that, you know, Motown stuff. Let me see if I can get my mouse closer. It's wireless, but I want to be able to... I wish I could zoom. Does anybody know how to zoom in on Windows? Is there a hotkey somewhere? I know it has to be something where you can get like accessibility mode without changing the resolution, like you hold control and scroll or something. Let's see, let's catch up on over here. Hey Ed, hey Nevo, what's up? Ed, is it really 3 a.m. by you? It's like 11 o'clock over here. And I also noticed when I hit the table, it shakes. So I'm going to have to figure out another solution for this thing over here. And by the way, I'm also taking some footage as I go. What you're seeing on the screen is what I'm capturing. Because I need to finish that review for the FR300. FR300 is this guy right here. It's the desoldering thing. So Hako gave it to me. They said, hey, just, I offered. I said, if you want, I'll just do a review. It's not official. You're not paying me to do it, but I'll do it gladly. And then they said, sure, just keep it. So it's unbiased. I actually kept it for a long time because I told them that I wanted to kind of get a feel for it first and give an honest opinion of what I think. So yeah, they gave that to me free, but I did pay for the accessories. I offered to. I said, listen, I'll pay for shipping. And I bought like about $100 in accessories where I got like, for example, a whole bunch of these tips here. I'm trying to get on camera here. There we go. They're all different sizes. I have all the drills that go for them. So that came up to a lot. Plus the filters. And so I have a lot of parts for it, but I figured if I'm not paying for the gun itself, I might as well get the accessories, right? So let's see. Yeah, so this is shaking, but I'll figure out, I'll probably have this on a separate mount, this tripod right now. But for now, let's get back to this. So I have my thing right here, and I think, did I just drop it? Yeah, I just did. I can't stand when I do that. Oh, I got lucky. So check it out. I'll put it on top of the cap so you can see how tiny it is. I dropped this little black piece almost on the floor. I actually caught it in my lap. But that's the insulation piece that goes in between. I'm actually going to grab it with this. So my pliers, I'm going to check where they are. Anyway, so let me grab my pliers. Hang on, I'll be right back. It's going to go in the tool room here. Hang on, let me look on the side too. So I'm going to bring out the crappy pliers. These are my crappy ones. My daughter actually was playing with the other ones before. She actually likes to grab all the stuff off my area here. And I don't know where she's going. I'm not about to wake her up and ask her either. What did she do with it? Giving a cursory check and I don't see anything. See them. So no big deal. So okay, so let's get back to this. I got to figure out where I was because I started it. I think what I did is I removed this and okay, so here's what I did so far. I want to try to get this on. There it is. This was bent down like that. It was fastened kind of like what this one is over here. To get to it, there's like screws on the back, which you take out. And I got to the point where I removed it and I lifted it up like this, and I just have to desolder it. So let me flip this over. That's it right there. And hopefully you guys can see that. And let me just get some more solder onto this thing here. could see, you can't really see now because it's zoomed in, but there's smoke everywhere. And that fan kind of sucks everything up. So let me just double check. That's where we'll take it from. So these things literally fall out. I think that's good. I'm just double checking. Alright. I also have the old version if you want to see me do that, but it's terrible. I actually have a couple things where I did it just for the video, just to prove that it really sucks to have those old-fashioned way of doing things here. So this should pop right out. And it has this really cool insulation here. Let's see if I can grab it. Yeah. So that kind of insulates the leg so it doesn't touch the metal. And I'm just going to put this on the side here. And this is the old one. I'll just take out. And here's a new one. So I'm going to compare them again. I'm really curious to see. Now I'm just going to lay that right there. And this over. Man, this is like double the work. But it's worth it, I guess, right? You have a CD100, really? Huh. Hey, what's going on, Drew? Hey, I saw that great video you did of the of that place you went to. I'm trying to think. It was California. Was it the Pinball Hall of Fame? If you guys want to check out another great channel, 8-Bit Pit is awesome. So, yeah, the Arcade Expo. Actually, I think I met the owner of that museum at Richie Knuckles' place a couple weeks ago. I went to the arcade. He's actually in the video. If you look at the beginning of my video with Richie Knuckles Arcade, you'll see him there. I think his name is John. And he was pretty cool. You know, we talked a little bit, but not really much. I didn't really know him. He just got introduced to him that day, so. And if you meet me in person, you'll know I'm kind of a shy dude. So yeah, these look okay. So I could put that one back if I wanted to, but I'm going to put the new one in. I'll save these though. So let me just double check that that's the right part. And 852. You know what? I don't know if that's the right part. Let me double check. It might be the wrong one. What does this one say? Yeah, this is the right one. That other one I grabbed didn't look right. Yeah, this might be for the other one. Alright, anyway, good thing I double checked. So, swipe here again. I'm just reading your comments here at the same time. Yeah, Drew, I'm trying to go in. It's just funding is hard and time. It's really hard to get away from the family now, especially having little kids, you know. My oldest is 10, so he's fine, but my youngest, man, she gets so attached and it's just hard. So I want to go to ZapCon. I'm going to miss that one this year. I missed it last year too because I had schedule conflicts with work last year. And then I want to go to Grinkers, but that's all the way in Idaho. I'm on the East Coast. So, yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some paste. Let me take this out of the way. What I'll do is I'll test those off camera so I can just stay on this shot right here. And I'm just going to put, you can't see it, but you can barely see it. There's like one of those Mylar thingies that goes in between and keeps it from getting contacted. And I have a whole tube of this. I ordered this on Amazon one time and thinking it was a small tube, and I didn't read it was, I don't know, 5 ounce to me seems small. And when I got it, I was like, holy crap, I'll never use this the whole lifetime of repairing game. But it seems to work, so I'm just putting it on here. I'm not lifting it up. It already has some underneath, and it's not that much, so I'm not gonna go crazy. Oh yeah, are you going to Grinkers, man? Ooh, sorry, I keep hitting the freaking camera and the table. All right, so I'm just gonna stick it in there, and the way I found to put the other one is I just lift it up and kind of do this. And the way it goes is you put this down. Let me take that out actually. Got a little bit of paste on there. And lift it up. So I'm going to stick that in there. I'm going to put the insulator. It's that little black piece. Goes right in. There we go. The washer. And the nut. And the best way I found to do this is to kind of just like hold it here, and let me just get it from underneath. Kind of do this and hold it, and it screws right in. I should hold it. I wish I had my good pliers. Yeah, see, these don't really hold well. Let me grab these. I'm gonna grab it at a better angle off camera. It's in there pretty good. So I just replaced that. So now that it's in there, the legs are still in, I can just solder them. And they're the perfect length right here. So, and here's another Hakko product. It's the 888D. I've had it, I don't know, 2-3 years, maybe 4. I don't remember. Oh, you know what? Shoot, man. This sucks. Forgot to put this little insulator thingy on. But I didn't solder it yet, so hopefully I'll be able to bend it out, but I don't think I will be able to. Yeah, let me take it out real quick. And these pliers are terrible. Again, I'm just doing this off camera because it's easier for me. Okay. So I'm unscrewing this. Parts are tiny. And I'm just going to kind of lift it out. So yeah, this is supposed to go in here. Kind of just slip it on. It's better if I straighten it out, but I don't want to bend it too much. There we go. So now that goes in. This kind of bends like that. We have the little black insulator here. Goes in between. And this looks huge to you, but it's tiny. It really is. Oops. And I have big hands. So luckily I'm good with my hands, so that's what she said. Alright, so I'm just going to secure that slightly. And then I'm going to go off camera and tighten it. So I guess this camera angle works. I use it for like capping now because people were complaining that my head was in the way. But, you know, stuff like this, that's why I get good feedback when I do live stuff. You know, I'm not afraid to experiment. Not at all. Alright, so that's in there. That's the one I just did. Right there. And I'm going to flip it over. And then I have my 3 points right there. I'm just double checking. 1, 2, 3. Yep. Now I'm just going to solder it. And I'm going to move this one. So yeah, this is stuff I can do. I figured definitely shotgun it. Easy to do. Let me grab my magnifiers. These things are awesome. I've showed you guys this before. I have it in my description links. It's just awesome. I think it was like 20 bucks, 24, something like that. But it has an LED and it comes with like 4 different lenses, and it's really good for looking at small stuff. So let me see if I put my head here. I'm not going to block you until I get there. Okay. Just double checking my work here. Alright, that looks good. Alright, so there's that one. So, change these two out. These two I do not have. Turn it around so you guys can see it. Isn't it cool? These are the knobs for volume and stuff. There's volume pots outside of the box too, of the jukebox, but these are the immediate ones where you can, I think you set the tone level here, like the bass and treble. And then these are the other DIN connectors and stuff. So I need to replace this one and this other one over here, but I don't have them yet. They were out of stock, they're on order. They were back ordered, but they're on their way, so it should be here, like I said, next couple days. So I did these two. This one I'm not really sure of. I have to do research on that before I replace it tonight. What else can I do here? I guess what I'll start doing is taking these caps, placing those on the board. Could be, I'm really thinking it could be this voltage regulator here, but for now I'm keeping it. And by the way, when you're doing it, I want to set my continuity here, my meter. You want to double check to make sure that nothing's touching. So this here, this screw should ground to that. It should be connected, but you don't want like this part here, this connected to that. See, it's not going off because I have the insulator in between, so that's good. So it's installed correctly. So I just quickly do that. Let me do it on this other one that I just did over here. That's supposed to be touching. This should not be. Good. And then I'll take the legs sometimes and do that too. That shouldn't be doing anything. But this middle one should. If you get in there, you can get to it. So that's installed correctly. It's just like the ones on the, if you install a hot inside of a chassis, it's the same deal. Damn, all you guys are going to Grinkers. I'm jealous. Hey, Drew, if you go to ZapCon, let me know, man, because I know everybody out there. I went, I want to say, did I go 3 times? I think I only went twice. It felt like 3 times. But it was a lot of fun, and those dudes in Arizona, that's where it's at, man. That's where everybody knows everybody. If you need stuff, you know, John lives out there. You know John already. He says Joan. It's Jawhn or Jahwn, I forget. But he's cool. He sold me his he gave me the bro price on his what was it? The Versus board that I bought. Yeah, and there's Yotsuya's out there, Paul. So a lot of cool people. And you know, it all comes out in the wash. So it looks good. I'm looking at the broadcast here on the side. Looks a little grainy because it's shooting off a monitor, but looks alright, I guess. So, alright, so I guess I'll do these. So these are, that's BD137. So I'm looking at these right here, these smaller ones. And again, because I have the Hako, it's just so easy. So 137 right here. So this is brand new. from Mauser. I'm just, while I have it out, it's just easy to do. And I can't remember how many of these there are. Let me just check here. 137, there's one, two, there's two of them. So I can put these other two away. I don't want to mix them up, so I'll do them one by one. So, 137. So I'm going to take this one out. I'll quickly just, it's that one there. And I usually wiggle it on the other end to know that it's loose. You can see me kind of doing that. I think this one's stuck again. And then this one's having trouble getting out. There we go. Now it's all out. Love this thing. So, right here. And I'm going to take this out right here. And you know what? I'm going to test this one real quick on the side too. Make sure. I have it to the wrong side. There we go. So this looks like a bipolar. This one's not getting any readings. It's completely shorted. Wow. Yep, that might have been the problem right there. I'm doing all different combinations on the legs here. The base, the emitter. Oh wait, I'm getting something now. Let's see if that does. Yeah, one of them doesn't do nothing, so. I don't know, maybe because it's bipolar, I'm not sure. I suck at transistors and all that crap. Hey Kevin, what's going on? CC Games just came in the house. So I'm going to replace this one. And put the leg on. Same way. It goes this way. Turn it upside down and try to get it in there. Can you guys see that if I'm pointing to it? That's where it is. Okay, cool. I'm using my little glasses. Is that close enough? I can go closer if you want. Just catch up with the chat. Cool, you guys are chatting it up. Awesome. So, and of course, it's totally crooked. I gotta just straighten it out. All I gotta do is hold this here and just push it down. So I'm gonna do that now. It's like, nope, doesn't want to move. There we go. Okay, cool. That's good enough for me. So the next one to do is on this side. I'm guessing that maybe this is the board split into different sections, like you have left and right for the different sides of the amp. Guessing, because I see everything's like opposite. So BD137. This is the old one. This is the new one. It's going to go in there. So it's this one right here. Just going to quickly take it out. Cool. This whole metal piece here is like a big heat sink. They're all connected to it. So that's fine. And now let's do the other ones. So BD 140, which is right there. So now I have to dig in the bag again. Put all these back in here. So that's done. I'll do these since I have them out. So 139s would be these guys right here. This way, take this little piece off. And they come in this cool little packet, so I just gotta figure out how to open it up here. Use my pliers. Make 2 of them. I have to say the quality of this jukebox when I was looking at it, it's really good. It's German made and I guess imported from out there. And it's really, really good quality, I have to say. And I'm facing it the right way, but I think they're bipolar. I don't think it matters, but it's hard to like hold it in there while I solder. Done. They're a little crooked. I mean, I can't fix them. It's just the angle that I'm at. I can't really get to them. What I'm doing is I'm just holding it and pushing it in. It's good enough. Okay, so now 140 is the last one I need to do. I'm just double checking my work here. BD137, that's BD139. That's BD137. And BD139 is to the left here. So it's this 3. These boards that I'm using right now, that I'm desoldering from, remind me a lot of Defender. They have like that aluminum foil look on the bottom. So I'm not going to bother testing these right now. I'm going to put them in my spare parts thing here in the same bag, and then just using a new one. Let's see, what was that? Those right here. I'm going to try maybe if I prop it on something, that way it won't bend. Where are you? I'm trying to look for what I just did here. Ah, here it goes, right there, off camera. Hang on, guys. So I'm trying to get it right there. Okay. Let's look at that. Yep. Yeah, that came out way better. Alright, and I think the last one is this one right here, which is 140. So this one's done. And did I not order those? I think these might be them right here. Yeah, these are 140s. So just gonna open it here. Just trying to pop this up and preserve it to put it back. 1, 2, and then press it back down. Yeah, I could have like a little electronics store with all the stuff I have. Just over time. I'm gonna double check the chat here. Hey, command the line. I'm actually I have a warehouse raid in the future. I'm not going to reveal my source, and the guy wants to remain anonymous, and I do too, so I can grab some more stuff later. But if you saw, I don't think you guys saw, I did like a Star Wars arcade tour at my best friend's house, and he actually, I drove down to his house like 5 hours away, and he didn't have the Outrun at that time. I think he had the Afterburner, which he sold, and then he replaced it with the Outrun. And anyway, so we know a guy where he got that Outrun from. Like, all he did was basically clean the whole thing out. I mean, it had a rat's nest inside and mouse nest and whatever, and he found a skeleton of a mouse, I think, in it too, in the marquee. But that thing worked, and the monitor was really crappy, and we recapped it and, you know, kind of just buttoned it up and rejuvened the monitor, and it looks beautiful. It's probably in better condition than my Outrun, believe it or not. So anyway, there's more stuff he has. We're gonna pick up like 6 monitors that he has. He's selling them to me for like 25 bucks a piece. You know, working and non-working monitors. He's kind of like untested, but he's pretty sure, you know, I'm pretty sure I can get him to work. And what else does he have? And he has games. So I'm gonna check him out and see, and we'll go down with a trailer and we'll see what we can get. So that'd be my first episode of a warehouse raid, I guess. Should be kind of cool. It's really far to drive though, but it should be a good road trip. You guys are lucky. I live like near the city, man. It's crazy because like out here, like everything's really expensive. So like, just to give you an idea, 60 and ones out here, people make them. It's really hard to find machines because people tear stuff apart, and they'll create like if you get a Super Pac-Man that's really nice, they'll convert that to a 60 and one because it has a button on it. So that one can go for like, I don't know. They're asking like 1675 for stuff like that out here. Almost 2 grand for a multicade machine with a 60 and one board. So the prices out here are a little higher than, if you travel and stuff. So sometimes it pays to have them shipped. I'm not sure. I heard I Jastel's asking, would an Outrun board be swappable to drop Super Hang On EPROMs onto it? You said you're missing black pixels on my bike tires and on the start flag. Um, yeah, I mean, you might want to just reburn those EPROMs first. That's the easiest thing to do to see if it clears the problem. Um, but the bike tires, I'm trying to think what part of the board that is. Because if it's similar, because I know there was a guy auctioning a board. He said Super Hang On with Outrun hardware, which kind of piqued my interest because I had it set for Outrun, and I was like, oh, an Outrun board. But I didn't buy it because I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if it's compatible where I could have popped out the ROMs, popped in the new ones. I guess I'd have to see it and look at it to tell. Do you have access to a burner at all? You're gonna say I need to move? No on the burner. It's a good investment. Um, I have the GQ4X. I'll actually show it to you. This is the one here. It's the GQ4X. It's by MCU Mall, I think it's called. And this is a newer one. It's the GQ4X. It's 4X4. It's version 4, which has like, I think there's a new one after this a whole new programmer, but this is the latest one for this. And you just put the EPROMs in here and then put it down, and it works with Windows. So I had, I think, an old laptop that I used to use to make it portable. It's since died, but I have it on my regular PC. It works really great. So, and it's USB. So USB on the side, and this is an optional plug that you can get, which I ended up buying separately for like older games like Galaxian and Pac-Man and stuff like that, because it requires a little more voltage than the USB port gives. So this thing is awesome. It goes for like, you can get like the basic model for like $90, but I got the deluxe version, which came with like, has all these adapters you can buy. I'll show them to you. I have them right here. So these are the adapters you can get for it. Oop, there we go. That comes with it. So if you look underneath, it'll actually plug in. So you take this, and I think pin 1 it goes this way. You can put it in that way, and then you lock it down, and then you have other chips that you can do. But these are less common, I guess, in the application that we're using. That's really more for cars and stuff like that. But I got it anyway. And then this one here, same thing. It has pins underneath, and it goes right in, and you can adapt it. So it came with, I think, 3 of these. I don't have them all here right this second. Oh wait, here's the other one. But I use this the main time, and everything I throw at it fits. So they're actually, if you look at it, the chip can be really wide, so the pins kind of go on the edge here. So if I have these pins, just to show you underneath, see how these are really wide? They fit right in. But you can have chips that are skinny that fit on the inside, basically along here and here. So anything will fit in here, the smaller Galaxian chips and Pac-Man and stuff like that. But it paid for itself, man, because if you were to buy the, there's a guy named hobbyroms.com, I think it is. And, he's great and everything for people that don't do it, but if you do it a few times, like I burn stuff all the time to repair stuff, it paid for itself. So, yeah. So this thing is awesome. I love it. It's like a permanent fixture in my arcade. And you can get the eraser too. I don't have that handy, but the eraser's only like 20 bucks, so you can erase the EEPROMs. And the EEPROMs are like ridiculously cheap. You get them from China, like on eBay. I found a great source. I've never had a problem. There's some people say there's problems with fake stuff. You get fake EEPROMs, but mine have been great. So I use the same guy. I think it's called JK Parts. It's JK underscore parts, and that's the guy from China. Comes straight there, and I'll order like, depends what you order, but like the Outrun ones, I want to say it's like you can get like 10 of them for 10 bucks or something like that. They're about $1 each. Like, it's pretty cheap. Some are even cheaper if you order more. Don't quote me because I don't remember exactly, but the 25, I think it's called 27C 256, 27C 512s are the ones that Outrun uses. And I get the brand ST because they're the most reliable for me. And that's all these guys carry anyway. So, you know, they're great. And you just order them, burn them, and that's it. You know, and a lot of games use those. So I've kind of, over time, I've collected stuff like for Nintendo, for Sega, for Atari, for Namco. You know, you just get them over time. But let me go ahead and take these out of the way, and I'm going to go ahead and put this one back too. Best I can here. I'll put these back. So I have a list of things to do on this channel, man. I have to fix my Super Pac-Man. It's acting a little weird. Yeah, Drew, they're great. You do stuff for pinball, right? So burning pinball stuff is pretty good. Okay, Drew, yeah, I'll see you. I'm off tomorrow, so I'm good, but I do have my daughter tomorrow since I'm off. And I gotta wake up at the crack of dawn, but I just need to get this done because I want to get this done now. I want to see if this works. So my plan is to get this done tonight, and then tomorrow pop it in so I can make noise with the jukebox if it works. You know, I don't want to do that now. It's like really late. But yeah, I don't see any other time I can do it, so I have to just burn the midnight oil until I get it done. Yeah, I might do an episode on that. I have an old episode that I did on how to burn. If you check my playlist, there's a playlist on there that says, I want to say it says Thunderblade Resurrection because I resurrected a Thunderblade, and I think I paid $100 for the cabinet. It was one of the mini ones. I think that's the only Thunderblades they made. There's a mini and the deluxe, which is huge. And guy delivered it and everything for $100, man. He drove like 2 hours, gave it to me, and I don't know. I think the next day I ordered the burner, and that's how for me it paid for itself because I burned the chips, you know, for resurrecting it. Where I took out the FD1094, it has a battery backup chip, popped it in there, bam, it fired right up. So I fixed my game. So you figured I paid $200 for that machine, which I ended up selling to a tattoo shop. So I know where it is too. I can always get it, and it's probably still there in the tattoo shop. I'm sure it works because I bulletproofed it before I recapped the monitor and did everything and resurrected it. So it's gonna last forever. But yeah, paid for itself. So that's my story about my burner. What's up, Krell? How you doing? Krell, I'm just messing around. I'm kind of talking a lot. It's kind of like a Q&A. But I'm replacing all these transistors on here because this is my jukebox that keeps popping this fuse right here. Let's see if I can point to it. Yeah, it's popping that fuse. So I'm just replacing all the transistors over here on the side. I just ordered them all. It came out to less than $40 for all the parts, and I doubled them up in case anything happens. So I have 2 of each, even though I need 1. So yeah, I'm just desoldering stuff right now. So, but answering questions, chatting. Yeah, you know, I was a little intimidated when I first got the jukebox because I got it for free years ago, and it just sat there. I had it in my garage for a while, then I moved, I took it with me. Now it's in the living room. The wifey actually likes it a lot as decoration because it lights up. It looks really nice, but it just doesn't play the records. Came with all the records, they're unscratched, came with extras and everything. The keys, the manuals, everything. It just, for whatever reason, the computer doesn't turn on. And it's because of that fuse, I believe, that controls it. So hopefully replacing these under $40 and I can get the thing working, and it's going to be worth thousands because Wurlitzers, it's a Wurlitzer. It's worth quite a bit of money. So I have to decide if I want to keep it or not. I may keep it for a little bit and then probably sell it. Gotta fund the arcade habit. Maybe I'll get a pinball, who knows? I would love a brand new out-of-box pinball. A new in box would be great. So, let's see, BD140. Alright, so I'm gonna take this one out next. And I'm going at a slow pace because I'm looking at the chat, so I apologize for people watching this for the replay. You don't get to see, you know, hear or see anything of what's happening on the chat. You don't get to interact. But tomorrow, by the way, today's Thursday. Tomorrow's the episode 7 of Outrun. I did some more work, did some fixing, tidying up of the other Outrun, which I'm going to sell. There's a guy that's possibly going to be interested. There's actually 2 guys interested in it, but I may sell it at a discounted price to a fellow YouTuber who will remain nameless right now because I'm not sure if he's going to buy it or not. But, yeah, so this one is the BD140. So I'm just going to take the new one. BD140. Okay. Put this little thing on. Alright, so hopefully by replacing all of these, it'll fix the problem. Can you guys see if I point to it? No, I still can't see. How about here? Yeah. So I'm kind of hanging it in there. Could have changed the tip on this, but it's a little fat for this kind of work, but it works, so I'm leaving it. So that one's done, and I think the other one is on the other side, right? Yeah, BD140 is right here. So this is it where my thumb is. So now I'm working faster because I want to go to bed. And this is a new one, right? Yep. Put a little leg on. And I'm going to double check them to make sure they're all facing the right way when I'm done. But again, I think these are bipolar, but I'm just going to make sure, just in case that they're untouched. Or originally like they're supposed to be, is what I meant to say. Now this one. People were saying I have very steady hands, but I guess it depends. If somebody has a gun to my head, my hands are going to shake. But I'll do this as long as I can before I get old. My dad actually, just sharing some personal information, has Parkinson's, so yeah, he shakes like crazy. But he jokes around about it. It's really funny. Okay, so let me check this out. They're all the right way. They're all the right way. I didn't replace this one because I'm not sure if I should. And I have a feeling that's the one that's giving me problems. So these are on order. This one here is coming. And then this is the one that I have. Now, let me double check something. So this is the BDX54C. Okay. So I'm going to put these in here. 54C. 54C. And there's, I ordered 4 of these, right? So this one here is, it's hard to see in the light here. Oh, 54C. What did I order? Oh, I gotta take them out. I'm getting confused now. So this is 54C right here. And these are ST chips also. I like that brand. And that's 54C. 54C, 54C. So I got 3. 4. This one is different. Okay. So I think that's the one I gotta replace. That's separate. And I think I only ordered one of them, which is this one here. But I gotta do my research. Do you guys have access to the internet at all? I'm trying to find out if this chip here, it's actually labeled 317SP. And 8633, and I need to find out if this chip is compatible. I'm pretty sure it is because I ordered them ahead of time. I did all the research, but it doesn't actually say those numbers on here. But I think it's an equivalent. Hey, there's Mike. How you doing, man? That's right. It's boring. This one's a really, really boring stream. I may actually kill it after it's done because it's basically an hour of nothing. I'm just sitting here chatting with you guys. And it sounds weird. It sounds like I'm talking to myself when you watch the replay because you can't, I have to get in the habit of reading your chat out loud so people can see what you guys chatted about. So CW Graham wrote, yeah, I have a jukebox that I got for free. It doesn't have the records, so the box, just the box and the speakers, but it had this nice curved glass that of course I broke 2 seconds after it got home. Yeah, mine, the front glass was broken on there's like an oval, if you look like if you cut a circle in half, it's kind of like I don't know, like this. I'm just gonna draw it with my finger here. So if this is a glass, it's like if you cut that in half, it's like a crescent sort of. That part broke out, so I have to get that. I'm sure it's gonna be pricey, but it works without it. But I want to get it because you can reach in and touch the records. So yours is a Seaberg from 1962. Wow. Yeah, I mean, if this was, I would totally take a gutted jukebox and just put whatever in it. I mean, I eventually want to upgrade. I know there's a way you can tap into, the inputs. Excuse me. And yeah, I actually want to I actually bought it already. I have a Bluetooth iPod adapter, which you can plug in using a, typical like 1/8 inch plug. And I want to splice it to go in here somehow so that the speakers will work, because the speakers are always on a jukebox. When the actual record hits is when it, when it goes through. So I want to do it and try to splice it so a way, without damaging the board, where I can just select like, Pandora or whatever, or SoundCloud on my iPhone, and it'll just go through. So this says 54C now that I'm looking at it. PDX 54C. So if I replace that, it would have been bad. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave it alone for now. 54C. I thought I ordered, I don't know, whatever. Let me just double check something here. It's 54C. That's 53C. That's 53C. And this one should say 54 on here. 54C, okay. So this is the only one I got to replace, this one right here. And I don't know if I ordered that part. I can't remember. Ah, this might be it right here, actually. So it says the part number here. I'm looking at this one. Let's see, where is it? This one right here. According to what I have in my hand, it's LM338T. Is that what that says? That says LM317SP. And then it says /NOPB. Yeah, so 926. So I think what I did was I went to a jukebox site I looked up like the location IC4, and it said that to replace it with this. So then I just went to Mauser and ordered it since I was ordering other parts. So there's no other things that look like it. I'm just gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna put it in. And now here's where I start doubting myself. Should I put it in? Should I not? Because I can just put it in right there. You know what? I'm gonna leave it out. We'll see. I'll install it. It's not that hard to install. See if it fires up. If it doesn't, I'll replace it. And then if it still doesn't work, then I'll get this voltage regulator here. I think that's how I'm gonna do it. Yeah. So CW is saying, yeah, I have a spare stereo, then I could put a PC in with some kind of software, but ideally I'd like to have it. Yeah, if you guys look, there's a really cool jukebox. There's a arcade, one of my buddies, Arcade Nut, that's his name on Clav. But yeah, his name is Brian, and if you look at Brian's arcade tour or whatever on the arcade tour section for my playlist, if you go towards the end of the video, he has a Robotron, like he kind of replicated a little Robotron cabinet, but it's a touchscreen jukebox and it's connected to everything. So we had it. We actually turned the volume down on it when he was demoing it because we don't want to get flagged on YouTube. But that thing is really cool. He did like a touchscreen version of, and he built that. He did the software and everything because that's what he does for a living. He does computer stuff with software, and he wrote his own program for it. I don't know if it's DOS based. It might be DOS based or Linux based. I'm not sure. But yeah, I mean now there's no excuse with all the MP3s and everything. And thanks again for that super chat, Mike. Yeah, Mike. I'm gonna bankrupt the poor guy because every time he comes, he does like a super chat of $5, and it's been, I gotta add it up, man. It's been like 5, 10, at least $30, maybe more. I lost track. So unfortunately, I'm probably gonna end this video soon because I'm pretty much done, and also my battery, I just got a warning that it's about to die.